Yo,
Hey, how's it going?
what's up?
Nothing much.
James, can you hear me? Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We can hear you.
How are you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm not gonna complain. I'm sitting outside in a t-shirt in sunny Florida.
Nice, dude.
I'm not complaining at all.
Very nice.
74 out here.
Beautiful.
It was about 78 here today.
Who are you?
Hey
Arizona.
guys, I'm getting kids to bed right now, so give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna mute myself and turn my video off, but I'm here.
All good. All good. Yeah, it was snowing again here. Woke up to a blizzard. Sideways snow covering the roads.
Hi, everybody.
Who?
My dog is trying to hit things on the keyboard, so if I lose you intermittently, I'm sorry. Hi, Brenda.
Oh,
Aloha. How's your new job going, kiddo?
it's going all right.
Yeah. It's so great when you have a job when you can't have a job, but jobs can still suck.
Yeah.
It's okay to admit. They're not always fun. But
It's interesting. I'll just say that.
yeah, that I try to look at everything like fodder for the book,
Yeah.
Hello, here. I'll turn another light on. Hi, Marina.
What's going on, guys?
Well, what's going on is James is in sunny Florida in 75-degree weather. That's what's going on.
Loving it.
Well,
Simply loving it.
Watch out, heroes.
well, let's see here.
Marina, where's Echo?
A good question.
Yeah.
She may be outside. She may start chewing on a bone any minute right next to me. I'm not sure.
I literally just stuffed a bone with peanut butter so that in hopes that for 20 minutes Harold can be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Echo's been playing the inside-outside game all night because she's so happy with the snow. But she doesn't want to miss out on anything either, so.
Harold's a service dog, except he's not well behaved enough to, be of service.
Yeah.
Service dog that doesn't serve anything but himself.
Cat's here.
Oh, hello. Wow.
Well,
Ouch.
I don't really have an agenda for today. It was more about like kind of free talk. I wanted to talk about, it's my birthday tomorrow, so I want to talk about what is birthdays mean to everybody. What do you do on your birthday? Do you go big? Do you celebrate? Do you just chill? What do you kind of do for your birthday, and what does it mean to you? I mean, I know the meaning is pretty simple. It's the day we were born, right? But by definition, it talks about a chance to remember the day of a major event occurred, celebrate, give thanks, reflect upon, and how you are still alive to celebrate the day you were born. So that's technically the definition of it. And when I think of in terms of that, like a chance to remember a day that's major or celebrate or give thanks or reflect upon. I'm not one that's usually been big on like celebrating birthdays, but when I read that definition, I think about like how many moments are really just as big as birthdays all throughout any given year. When you think about an event or something that's really sticks out to you and something you were a part of or something you made happen that's special, that's sometime that you stepped up for somebody else or they stepped up for you, or you almost lost a friend and they cheated death. Like, there's so many different things throughout our life and every year that are equally or more impressive, I think. I mean, we were born, we didn't really, none of us did that. Like two other people decided to have intercourse and then we happened. We weren't really part of that choice. And that's why I've never really looked at it as something that I've celebrated personally. And also because I've never really looked at myself celebrating a day that ages me, because I never feel like I'm getting older in those terms. So what I do believe in is like the definition of what I read, if there is a definition, is like, how many times can we really celebrate life? Because that's really it is, right? It's celebrating our lives here, our personal birth to this earth. But really, how many times a year could we celebrate a birthday, if you will? Like not somebody else's, but life just in general. Moments that impress us with ourselves that we got this far, moments that we accomplished something so big that was beyond our own goals in our own mind. I just had a friend recently, literally just getting a stupid, like ridiculous car accident on Valentine's Day, and the car is like flattened like a taco. You can't even see it, like it's completely smashed, and he crawled out of it like almost fine. I couldn't even believe it. He rolled the car so many times. It's just like moments like that to me is like celebration of life. I mean, it wasn't his time. He's not ready. He could have lost him, but that's a moment, big victories, small victories, sad, happy. But I want to hear from you guys. Like, I want to hear from, because I'm not wanting to do anything for my birthday. And even now, Amber and my friends, some people are like trying to plan some stuff, but like, I'm not really into it really ever. So it's hard to like figure out what I want to, like what they want to do for me. But anyway, I don't really do much. So I want to hear from some other people. Give me some ideas. Anybody want to talk about like, what do you do on your birthday? Is it a super special day to you? Do you make a huge deal out of it? Do you only make a huge deal out of other people's birthdays? Like, who wants to talk about it? Who has a birthday coming up first? How about that? Let's go in order of the cake cutting ceremony. Besides me tomorrow, who's next in line? Come on. Nobody is born? You guys all just appeared in my Zoom?
I was born in June.
I'm not till Halloween.
Halloween.
I'm in September.
Okay. August. So June. James? December. Marina?
October.
Uh-oh. Brandon, you're up, bro.
Pressure's on.
What do you usually do? Do you do anything?
I used to go to Red Lobster every year, but because that's my favorite restaurant, but I don't really do much anymore.
And like you just made that like an annual thing every birthday you go to Red Lobster and just crush food till you couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Cheddar cheese biscuits?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I can get down
So
with
like growing up in our family, we basically went to my grandparents' house, my mom's parents' house, for every birthday, no matter whose it was. and it was pretty traditional. I can't remember. There was usually like a pot of saucer going with like meatballs and something going on, and there was always a cake. And we had, when he said the cake cutting ceremony, it was the person whose birthday it was cut the cake first, then the next person's birthday, then the next person. There was 3 cuts, and it was the 3 birthdays that would come to follow. But other than that, I mean, what did mom make you? Because mine was banana cream pie every year of my entire life. Banana cream pie for my birthday, because that was my favorite.
That's
Did you
completely
have a request?
That's completely strange, because of what I remember for your birthday every year was graham cracker pudding cake, because you always made a fuss out of it. So what are you talking about?
I think I got that too later in the years, because that's pretty.
I remember you throwing fits about graham cracker pudding. You had to make it, and grandma had to tent it with toothpicks so it wouldn't set wrong.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That's
Yeah.
really, actually, I'm gonna make that tomorrow now that you said that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't.
I remember your birthday in Hawaii. Remember when we went to Hawaii? We went to that place where there was a Pope thing in the middle. There was a Pope head in the middle of the table.
Oh yeah,
Remember
Buca de
that?
Pepa, Buca de Pepas.
Oh yeah, the Pope hat.
Yeah, there was a big Pope head in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
His head was in the glass jar, like in the
Yeah.
middle of the table. It was awkward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Thank God for
Gotta
witness.
love Buka.
like-
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
For your 30th birthday, Michael, like 8 of us from all over the country, from our family, it was probably our one big pilgrimage, all surprised you. You were teaching at a PGA thing on the west coast of Florida. You lived in Bradenton, and we all converged on you. Aunt Mickey from Seattle, and Mom and the Zenos and from everywhere, and kind of just we showed up, and whether he liked it or not, we're like, oh, we're staying with you for 5 days. He was like, oh, awesome. It's pretty fun.
That's what it is.
That
You
was,
have to,
that was 10 years ago.
spring it on me, or I'm not planning it. Who's September?
Mike, I just want you to know,
Me.
I just want you to know my son Tony's joining us tonight.
Beautiful. Hey. Glad to have you.
He's here with me up at my mom's visiting.
Oh, beautiful. All right, Christine, you are September, right?
I am September.
Let's go.
So
What do you
I don't
do?
like-
I know you. I feel like you do some big stuff.
You know what? I like to do stuff for other people, but I normally don't plan stuff for myself. It's like one of those things where I don't know. I just feel like I just want to be surrounded by the people that I love. And I'm cool with like chill and low key stuff. And I've been surprised a couple times, but normally I just really enjoy being surrounded by the people that I love. I normally won't tell people that it's my birthday. But I get like, yeah, there's a song that has my birthday, which is funny. It's an Earth, Wind and Fire song. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I'm very spoiled in that I get showered with a lot of love, and so people take me out to like coffees, and my parents always did like the homemade. My mom always did the homemade cake, and we just, it was never pretty, but it was always just made with love. So we do that. And I really like celebrating others big. It's important to me because I'm very grateful for their lives. And so for my kids and for family, for friends, like I try to really just celebrate them, because man, what would the world look like without them? Right. And so to me, it's a celebration that they're here. Oh, one thing I always do is I actually thank my parents on my birthday. So
Oh,
for
I
putting
do
up
the
with me.
same thing. I send my mom flowers every year on my birthday, and every year
That's cool.
when they get the flowers at their house, like, what do you mean? She lives up the road. It's her birthday. No, they're
Yeah.
not from me. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for putting up with my teenage years. And like, yeah.
Aw, that's
So
sweet.
it.
Has anybody ever talked to their parents about how they had you? Like actually how
Oh yeah. I
and
get
birds
the
and the
story all
bees
the time.
actual
Oh.
conversation about how it was thought?
Oh, it went down.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
I was a high five, baby.
yeah.
Oh,
Something exciting happened. Whoops.
Yep. Yo, loopsie daisy.
Yeah.
It's something that
Yeah.
that is something that interests me about birthdays and just the whole parents and talking to your kids about the birds and the bees sex thing. But like how many I asked that, but how many people have ever like asked their parents about how you came to life? Like there's no well, everybody's so weird about asking those details because it's about sex. But it's like it's a very interesting understanding like what was happening in your parents' lives when they decided to have you or didn't decide to have you. Because that
Yeah.
happens a lot. Those are cool stories. Like I've never even thought about asking my parents. I never came across from my. I always thought I was like, why would I want to know
Well,
if they had
well, I
sex?
can tell you because I was 6.5. It's
oh
gross.
no.
Oh, you walked in on my conception.
What?
Are you making me a brother in here?
You were actually conceived on 14 Willow Street in Johnson City, just up the street from the police station,
Oh,
in 1980. So 9 months before February is what?
were they in the
Probably right
were they
around.
in the
Ew,
apartment
probably
or-
around my birthday. Gross.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
celebration of life?
Yes.
Okay, what do we got? We got September. We got October. Kathleen.
2 Octobers here. Tony's is October 23rd and mine is October 31st.
All
And
right,
I
why don't
just
you share-
told him, I said, I just woke up one morning and said, oh my God, Eliza's 6. I need to have another baby.
Oh, you just told Tony
That's
how you
that
had him?
happened. Yep. During our conversation just now.
Well, there you go, Tony.
now-
And you know what he said? You know what he said? He goes, yeah, thanks for fucking.
Yeah, thanks for fucking.
that would be a great T-shirt to send our parents.
Yeah, you did a great parent T-shirt. Thanks for fucking.
Wow.
What do you like to do, Kathleen? What do you like to do on your birthday? Do you do anything special for yourself, or do you like to do anything special, or what?
I usually don't do anything special for myself, but my boyfriend usually does something special for me. Takes me out to nice dinner or, whatever.
Yeah, we don't need to hear all of it, but yeah, I get it.
It's a surprise.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute
Growing
myself.
up was
I'm laughing
fun,
too hard.
having my birthday on Halloween. Growing up on Halloween was a lot of fun because
I bet.
we just always
Oh,
had
we
Halloween
did. It was
parties
good
and
for
it
you.
was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. What do we got? December?
Yeah. I never really got into the question of how, because basically she wouldn't remember.
Okay.
And I agree with Kathleen. I'd rather do for others than for myself.
Aw.
So you like to celebrate other people.
Right.
Yeah, James is that guy. First time I ever met him, he was doing exactly what he's talking about. He was in a restaurant, came out from being a customer to a helper and just started helping the restaurant. He's been going there forever and started helping them on a busy night. And that's the first time I ever met him. I mean, that's just the type of guy he is. So that makes sense, James.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed because my grandmother turned 90. And I did one for her 65th, her 70th, her 75th, and her 80th. And I couldn't do one for her 90th this year. So hopefully when this is over, I'll throw a big shebang for her.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Aw.
More time to plan it.
More time to save.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Marina,
That's
what
cool.
do you do?
So besides sending my mom flowers, I try to be a little bit selfish, but in a selfless way. Like I look at my birthday as a huge reminder that I'm responsible for my own happiness. I don't put an expectation on anybody else to do something for me. So I get up and I put on my princess tiara first thing in the morning and I have my cup of coffee, or I'll treat myself to like my favorite Dunkin' Donuts drink and just enjoy that part of being the happiness. And then like this past year, all I wanted was for a normal day at work, like a taste of not COVID times, and just told all my favorite customers, I was like, hey, you know, my birthday's on Tuesday. You guys should come hang out and come visit and just be surrounded by those good people. And I proactively seek that for myself, whether it's, you know, trying to make sure I have dinner plans with my family, or my sister and I are going to go out and have drinks somewhere. And I make it, you know, for me, because it's a day to remind myself, like, I am worth every ounce of love I give to everybody else. And I can't give that if I can't feel it and receive it myself.
Mhm.
Very good. I like that.
That's cool.
First selfish one we had. I like it.
Yes.
That's
Very
cool.
good.
Well, so let's spin it into the more spiritual like conversation, kind of what we were talking about this week, Mike, about like the generations now and like the pillowy existence we're kind of giving them because they're a little more sensitive and need a little bit more love and things like that. Like I grew up like raging against the machine, and like I was like, why did you have me? Or saying a lot of the opposite things to my parents when I was struggling in my own angst, and like I felt more like, just because you have sex, how does that equate life? And so how do we build the bridge now to our spiritual journey that we're on now? So 2 people had sex, and all of us, well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 people had sex, and here we are. And so what
Could've been
then
good
made our
sex,
life
Amber.
matter?
It could have been good.
Oh,
sex
well,
in there, so
yeah.
anywhere from 14 to 18, let's call it.
Right. Gross. Anyway. But like, so at, you know, what point between birth and, you know, 40 or whatever, you know, does then life actually matter to us? When do we actually understand that maybe our parents were just vessels, or God had a plan for us, or, you know, we're here to teach, or we're here to serve, or, you know, that kind of thing.
There's no doubt
How
that
do we send, and how do we give that message to the younger new generation that is so lost, I think, spiritually in so many ways, and just not grounded as far as the value of life?
James, did you want to say something?
there's no doubt from my experience that God had a hand in it. There is absolutely no doubt. Because there are people who are having it and not getting pregnant. So I think it's when God wants you to be born. He knew you before your mother's womb.
Yeah.
And he knew when you're gonna die. So obviously he knows when you're gonna be born.
I like that. I like that perspective.
And it's kind of interesting because I was just starting to read Luke, and it's just starting to talk about, you know, Elizabeth and how she was so barren for 90 years. You'd think what kind of joy she and her husband must have felt when she finally got pregnant.
Yeah. I was reading something about like us being born, you know, you don't really have a choice of where you're born into, what family you're in, where in the world you're born. You know, we're just born right to their parents that had us. And the article was a gentleman was talking about the difficulty, the unspoken difficulty there is about just growing up in your own skin into adulthood and understanding whether you are that person in that area or culture or family you were growing up in, or you were born on this planet to be something else, or not a part of that at all, and that's a choice. And that is really what James was saying too. I mean, God has the plan. It's already meant to be. If it's meant to be, put you on this earth. But you know, some of us find ourselves very far away from where we were born as adults, and that can be a lifetime struggle. And just understanding this constant contradiction flow of maybe a little guilt, maybe a little instilled values, if you will, like how we grew up with our families or what they expected from us. But I think total freedom is you have choice every single day, and you don't have to be the same thing that put you here. Does that make sense? Am I making sense there? Like, if he has a plan for you to put you on this earth, it's so that it's for your individual plan. It's not part of these two people having sex, and it's like you owe these things, and it's harder to explain for me, but to me, it's the total freedom I've ever had was to be able to explore all my options and understand what it is to be a human on this earth. So, meaning that if you were born anywhere, that it's not where you are, it's what you know, how you grow, what you learn, understanding your faith, spiritualism, whatever you are. I mean, coming into that can be really hard. I know coming in our family was Roman Catholic, like there was a certain way, our grandparents and even my mom, like parents were there was a way. And if that way wasn't you weren't down that path, it was like, you just weren't good, or, it was very binary. It was like, oh, you're good or not.
You get kicked out.
Yeah. So I fought that path my whole life. Like, I think that we have a responsibility, each of us, as finding our own way and our own relationship with whoever it is we look up to. We talk about God having a plan for us. Like, that's the trust we have to have. Everything else is our choice every day. Like, we get to make choices every single day. Like, that's freaking complete freedom to me. That's the reason to celebrate. Like, once a year birthday, like, no, I'm like, let's figure out reasons we can do more birthdays or friend anniversaries or whatever these are. Like, every couple has these, like, it usually starts in the beginning, but it's like, oh, we've been dating for a month, and now it's 2 months, and now it's 3 months, and now it's 6 months. It's like all these reasons to celebrate. Why don't we do that for just our friendships? I love hanging out with my people, like, and I don't want to have to be an excuse to do it. I just want to that'd be a bunch of them in a row, like all the time, like excuses for us to all celebrate each other's life all the time, not just the day we were born and put here, the day that we actually didn't have a choice. I want to celebrate days that, like, when I met you when we were 16 and we have this memory between us, we should celebrate that every year too. Like, when we were both humans making decisions and actually making decisions about our life, that'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm not a big birthday guy, so I don't know. I'm just rambling right now. And it's my birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do.
We need to have a party right here. Come on, let's happy birthday, Pinky.
Here, I'll extend Zoom for another 6 hours. We'll just stay on the line till midnight.
There we go. They say it's your birthday. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pinky. Yeah.
Yep. I'm flipping over into the 4s.
Most people say thank you instead of
best decade ever.
It is. You
can't
say that.
Right, Christine, for real, right? Because here's the truth about 40. At 40, you truly finally have the shame's gone, the apology's gone, the imprints, it's there, but you just get to unapologetically show up as you. And there's a freedom and a identity in this time that is going to be some of the best years of your life in a way that is, like you say, it's the true birthday gift, because it's ultimate freedom. Just to be you, not all the imprints and not the shame. And back to what you were saying about, like, our parents and, like, or the imposed, like, religion on us as children when we didn't fully understand or had to step in line or talk away or be away. It's so cool to be this age now where we're exploring our own spirituality on our own and realize, like, I could love my mom and she could love me, and we don't have to speak the exact same language, but we can have an understanding, and it's like acceptance of one another. Like you were saying, like, we can all just truly just accept people where they're at. And even if there's a language barrier, love does not have a language. Like, they say the language of love, but it's kind of nonverbal. It's what you've been saying all these talks and in all your podcasts and everything you do. It's the action. We just show up and we're showing each other love every Monday night and show our friends love, and we are celebrating each other every single day. The little tiny texts that get sent out between us, or a song or something random, or remembering what matters to someone. And so love is the ultimate daily birthday celebration, and acceptance is the new 40s. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you really get to.
Yeah, you have the energy for things still, and you have the wisdom to not care about other people's opinions and just like go for it. It's a good decade.
And you don't have to try to like convince anybody anything.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. Like
you've like grown into your own pool. Yeah.
Where I'm at. Yeah. Like being Snoopy.
Yeah.
I like to break I always like to, I don't think I ever celebrate it because I like to break the wall of like you hear a lot of people talk about age and like when you turn 18, and then, there's always something to an age level in your life. When you're 18, you graduate. When you have to go to college now, and 25-year insurance off your parents' insurance. And once you get in your 30s, you should be already, especially for women, I feel this a lot, like women have a timetable on them a lot. They talk about kids and when they should have them, and everything has a relation, goes back to an age. And I've just never liked that about humanity. Like, I think you are as old as you feel you are, always. We're in these suits on the earth. Like, we can be here forever. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. I know people that live in their hundreds that smoked and drank every single day, like just chimneys and just pouring beers down, and others that took care of themselves their whole life that died early. There's no rhyme or reason to this. And that's why I don't love celebrating like the number of the birthday, and I've never felt much older than, like, I think the last time I felt like I was moving up was like my late 20s. And then after that, I just never felt like I got older. And it's usually just because I'm immature in my head. I'm a very immature person. And it helps me stay young. If I feel I act like a 14-year-old, then I'm just going to stay right around there. My body should stay in line.
I mean, the placebo effect is very, very strong. But to James's point, I mean, like Luke in the Bible and them having to wait 90 years begging God and asking why it wasn't a certain way, and then to be blessed with what they thought they wanted all along, and what they must have felt in that moment. And there's something to be said for, I have this conversation, I wonder how anybody feels about this, like, the drug DMT or whatever. I've never tried it, but I've heard of all different kinds of people in different communities that have experimented with it medicinally, less than recreationally. And, when they say, I met God or whatever, right? Is that the same as being a monk for 40 years and earning the like learned way of transcendental meditation? I mean, I can just take a drug and I can just be that now? Or is there more value in like spending 40 years to kind of earn that place where I know my experiences brought me to that place? And so I'm using this as a metaphor, but that's why it's not about the number, because I agree. I mean, I feel bad all the time. Mom felt this young when she was our age now, and we treated her like she was probably 90. But there's something to be said for the experience that you gain in the decades beneath you. Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Brandon. You have something to say?
Yeah. My motto in life is, what I live by is, if George Clooney can get married in his 50s, then I'm fine.
And you got that baby.
That's a good motto, dude. But yeah, look,
I was expecting.
You're as young as you feel you are, right? Like, that's what you're saying, essentially. I mean, it's a funny way of saying, but look, if you are physically able to take care of yourself, there's a part of like, you have to actually take care of yourself. You can't just not do anything your whole life, but little taking care of yourself. I believe a lot of it is though in your mind. Like, create happiness in your mind and your body will follow. Your brain is the computer, it's the engine, it's everything that makes everything else tick and run. And I told my sister and I were talking about this. It's the hardest muscle to know that we're doing well with, because you can't see it grow. You can't see in the mirror like your abs or your arms getting bigger or you're losing weight, because it's your brain. You can't see it. But that's the thing we need to spend the most time on every day. And even less with the body part. You keep active, keep moving, but like your brain is every day. Keep working on that. It literally sends neural pathways and white blood cells. I mean, it protects your whole system, you know? And I believe that's the same reason you look at some people and go, you're how old? Because they look so young, you know? As most of the time it's the happy people. They're like always smiling. You're like, what? You're how old? That's why I want to live. I want to live like that. I think that's huge.
Yeah, Jay's grandma just passed away. She's 93, and this woman read books like they were popcorn. I mean, just read constantly, played the piano right up until she died. I mean, she was so unbelievably like brilliant and like on point. You'd have a conversation with her that you couldn't have with a 21-year-old at 93, because she never stopped using her brain. I mean, just active, and you know, her body started to deteriorate, but her brain was always right there.
Look, I think.
Can I have that baby? Give me that baby.
Yeah. Look, Kathleen is literally doing. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it takes very little to activate the brain in a way. Like actually,
Sorry.
Hi.
Oh, Kathleen is over here with the puzzle. What?
How old?
He's 16
Yes,
months.
we have.
16 months.
He is 16 months. He's my grandbaby.
Your
Yeah.
grandbaby.
My grandbaby.
Hi.
AJ, nothing but a number.
See? You were just proving it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I didn't know you had a baby 16 months ago. I feel like you just might.
Oh no, girl, I'm a grandma.
Grandma.
But he just was banging on my door, so I opened it for a second.
What's his
Kick him
name?
out in a minute. But I'm gonna mute myself, because if not, you'll never hear each other, because he's got a lot to say right now. But yeah, you were saying, but like the mind.
Yeah, I mean,
Here,
the
hold
very
on,
little-
Mom. Okay.
very little things you can do every day. Like I mess with this EEG monitor we actually put on her head, and I do a lot of stuff with that. But extreme mental strategy, and then all the way down to like exactly what Kathleen's doing. I mean,
Yeah.
it can activate your mind that it triggers it to do something that it doesn't know fully how to complete right away, or doesn't know the answer right away. Is constantly working its muscle. And that's the point I think people don't get. They don't want to go and see anything about their mind until it's like too late. And that's like a therapist. That's like way beyond past the point. Just little things every day. It's not like going to the gym. I mean, do a puzzle, read a book, use your eyes. I mean, little things. There's a lot of techniques with havening and breathing techniques that we use that trigger the brain, and these little tiny things that take really little time are crucial, I think, in keeping your brain healthy. And then obviously what you eat, but
Yeah.
And our speech, what we're saying, what we hear ourselves saying
Yes.
every day, whether it's negative or positive,
Yep.
whether what we're repeating. I had a super hot guy move in with me in my 20s, and we weren't dating or anything. We were truly friends, but he was extremely attractive, and he was always like gardening and like boxers and things. And I was like, what is going on? And he literally told me that I was repeating a narrative about my life, that I kept telling him a story about my life story, when I was 8 and then when I was, or whatever. And until that moment of humility, I had no idea that I was telling the same story repeatedly. And we're running out of time, but that moment I stopped telling that story for the rest of my life, other than like writing it as a book, and started telling a whole new story about myself.
find somebody in your life that makes you do that. By the way, that's a good way to end it. Find somebody that makes you push yourself, not even knowing. Love you guys. Happy birthday to me.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday,
Happy
Pinky.
birthday, Michael.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.